Okay, so first of all, apologies for the late start. We've had a whole multitude of technical difficulties here, but these things happen. So anyway, slightly later than planned, welcome to the first episode of Let's Get Quizzical, a brand new Raw show in association with the Warwick Quizzical. I'm Thomas Hart, I'm the treasurer of Quizzical, and you can join me here 1 p.m. on Thursdays for, the rest of term, and hopefully into next year, for an hour of quizzing goodness featuring people from Warwick. And joining me in the studio today for our first episode, we're keeping things in the family essentially. I'm joined by two of my fellow members of the Quizzical exec, our president, Luke Beresford.
Hello.
And our social secretary, James Newton.
Hello.
Hey, good. So, gentlemen, let's introduce you to the audience, shall we?
Yeah.
Where are you from? What do you do? And tell us something interesting about yourself.
I'm Luke. I come from from Chesterfield, a town in Derbyshire, and I have a particular love of axe throwing.
Interesting. Okay, James, what about you?
I'm from Westgate in Kent, and I like to LARP.
Okay, very nice. So, this is the way that Let's Get Quizzical is going to work. There are 4 rounds. In the first 3 rounds, our contestants will accumulate points, which they'll then have to use in the final round. So, just to start things off, we'll go straight into our first round, which is a kind of warm-up round, not worth that many points, just to get our contestants' brains into gear. So, it's topical, actually.
Oh, God.
Tomorrow is the first game of the Euros Championships. Should have been last year, but they're this year. So, I have a list of 10 teams from the national teams that are competing in the Euros. You're going to take it in turns. I'm going to give you 3 players from one of the teams. You just need to give me the country they represent.
Oh, we specifically said we didn't want any sport to come up. This is a great start for us.
Woohoo.
But don't worry, this isn't worth much points. Just 1 point for each correct answer.
Okay.
So, first of all, Luke, what country do Paul Pogba, Olivier Giroud, and N'Golo Kante play for?
Well, I already knew Pogba was French, and the second name was very French, so I'll go with France.
That is correct. You can see why this is the warm-up. James, again, what country do Manuel Neuer, Thomas Muller, and Toni Kroos play for?
I have no idea about any sport. I'm going to say the Netherlands.
No, they're German. Okay, so, Luke, Jan Vertonghen, Thibaut Courtois, and Romelu Lukaku.
Oh, I should know this. I should know where Lukaku's from.
You should.
But I don't, unfortunately, and there's probably going to be some people shouting at the radio right
There
now.
are 3 very famous footballers.
I'm aware they are. I'm also going to go the Netherlands because unfortunately, it escapes me.
Hit the post, it's Belgium.
Oh. One of them was definitely Dutch.
Right. James, Aaron Ramsey, Joe Allen, Wayne Hennessy.
Could have got that one.
Well, once again, I know no sport, but they sound pretty English names. So let's go England.
I
Wales.
hate you. They're Welsh. Okay, we're off to a brilliant start.
We're off to a great start today.
Luke, Dejan Lovren, Mateo Kovacic, and Ivan Perisic.
Well, definitely Eastern European. Probably Balkan. I know Croatia are in it this year, so we'll go with Croatia.
Very nicely done. They are
Yes.
Croatian. Yeah, again, Croatia, very good football team. Reached the most recent World Cup final. Okay, James, Kasper Schmeichel, Martin Braithwaite, and Matthias Jorgensen.
Okay, that sounded very Nordic. Let's go Sweden.
Hit the post again. That was Denmark. Okay, back to Luke. David Alaba, Julian Baumgartlinger, and Marko Arnautovic. What country do they all play for?
Well, Baumgartlinger sounds very German. But we've already had Germany, so I'm going to go with Austria.
Perfectly reasoned. They're Austrian. Okay. James, you have yet to score. Rui Patricio, Rafael Guerreiro, and Ruben Diaz.
I know literally no sport, so I'm going to choose Portugal.
And you're on the board. They're all
Hey.
Portuguese. Okay, finally, your last questions of our intro round. Luke. Tim Sparv, Daniel O'Shaughnessy, and Timu Pukki.
Oh, Timu Pukki must be Finnish. It's got to be Finland.
Timu Pukki is indeed Finnish. Very nice done. Thought Daniel O'Shaughnessy would have thrown you off there.
It did a bit.
Okay, and finally, James, last question of round 1. Ricardo Rodriguez, Zerdan Shaqiri, and Fabian Shah.
Spain.
No, they're all Swiss players. Okay, so
I'm feeling quite warmed up.
I'm not.
okay. Well, there won't be any sport in the next round, so.
Oh, thank God.
And at the end of round 1, Luke has 4 points and James has 1 point. And now we're going to take a quick break for our first song. And we are back on Raw 12:51 AM with Let's Get Quizzical. As a quick reminder, Luke is on 4 points and James is behind on 1. But, that was just the intro round. You've got the opportunity to rack up a lot more points in round 2, which I'm calling plausible. So if any of you have seen Tom Scott's series Disconnected, you'll likely recognise this format because we have adapted it from that, essentially. So the way it's going to work is I'm going to give both of our contestants a category. Say, for example, Olympic host cities. They will have to name things from that category. However, here's the twist. They don't have to be correct. Because all they have to do is be plausible enough for their opponent not to call them out on it and say, actually, I think this is wrong. So, and if the opponent says, I think this is wrong, we will stop doing that category. If the opponent is correct, and it was an incorrect answer, they win 5 points. And the opposing player loses a life. If they were incorrect and it was in that category, the other player gets 5 points and they lose a life. It's a bit complicated, you'll get used to it as we go on. And also, we've put an extra little twist on the format to try and incentivize risk taking. Every incorrect answer that gets through, isn't called out, wins the person who said it a bonus point. Okay? And also, obviously, I mentioned there are lives. You start with 3 lives. The round ends when one person loses all their lives and the other player gets an extra 5 points.
I think this might be over quickly.
So, it's okay. And our first challenge is, given we're Quizzoc, our quiz team won University Challenge more recently in a glorious victory. So our first category is universities that have won University Challenge. But also, to make it a bit easier, we're excluding Oxbridge colleges. Just universities that have won University Challenge. And James, as you're behind, you can go first.
So, University of Manchester.
Okay, Luke.
Well, I'll open with the obvious one, University of Warwick.
James.
Let's go with the University of Leicester.
Okay, Luke.
Imperial College.
James.
University College London.
Luke.
Edinburgh.
Okay. James.
University of East Anglia.
There's no way they've won it.
Okay, so Luke.
I'm going to call him out on that one.
Okay, so he's calling him out. So, let's see. Have the University of East Anglia won University Challenge? Well, first off, I have to say, very nicely done, James. University College London have actually not won University Challenge, so you get a bonus point for that one. But that's not the question at hand. The question is, have the University of East Anglia won University Challenge? They have not. University of East Anglia have not won University Challenge. Luke wins the first round. James loses a life. Luke gets 5 lovely points. And now we go to our second category. British Prime Ministers.
This one could go on slightly longer.
Yeah, again, simple. Name someone who you think has been British Prime Minister. Remember, doesn't have to be right, just has to be plausible. James gave the last answer, so Luke, you can go first.
Also, Theresa May.
Boris Johnson.
David Cameron.
The Gordon Brown.
We'll go further back and we'll go Churchill.
Chamberlain.
Quite a few so far.
Margaret Thatcher.
Stanley Baldwin.
Going quickly, this one is. A lot quicker than the previous round.
Asquith.
Robert Walpole.
Lord Palmerston.
Pitt the Elder.
Disraeli.
Pitt the Younger.
Ted Heath.
Duke of Wellington.
Tony Blair.
James looking nervous. Was it an act?
John Major.
Interesting, because there's a little bit of gamesmanship you can do here. You can try and pretend not to know it when you
yeah.
actually do, and
Lloyd George.
Clement Attlee.
Luke appears to be
I'm
on the road.
struggling now. I don't know why.
Or is it an act? Who knows? That's is he able to pull one out of a hat or make up something
He's
plausible
unable
enough
to do either
to
at
get
the minute.
far? Ooh,
I
have to hurry.
Have to time me out, I'm afraid.
you
I can't even
gonna
think
have to hurry you.
Can't even think of something incorrect.
You have to give an
Duke
answer.
of Salisbury.
No, I don't know if that's wrong or not. I'm going to call you out on it and say they haven't been Prime Minister.
He's called him out. So
He's definitely called me out. That was embarrassing.
it's the Duke of Salisbury. So first of all, I want to congratulate you. That was very impressive because all the previous ones were correct. All of them were Prime Minister at some point. But you said the Duke of Salisbury.
Which isn't even a thing.
There was a Lord Salisbury who was Prime Minister, but
Oh,
he
wow.
was a Marquis, so it doesn't count, I'm afraid. James wins that round.
Losing
Gets
on a royal technicality.
5 points. Precisely, but if we didn't have technicalities, what would be the point of quizzing? Okay, now again, shifting gears slightly again, going back to the realm of fiction, Sherlock Holmes stories. Okay, so we want any of the official stories in the recognised canon of Sherlock Holmes. That's any of the 4 novels or 56 short stories written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So, as Luke gave the most recent answer, it's up to James. Remember, you don't have to be right, you just have to be plausible.
Yeah, but first I have to be right. I have not read Sherlock Holmes.
Or has he? And is he just playing it up for try and make Luke into going for something obvious?
I have a guess. I don't know if it's Sherlock Holmes or not, but from my quizzing experience, I think it might be Sherlock Holmes' The Scarlet Letter.
That's not right.
No, it's something like that.
I think we're going to go out on the first one here because I'm going to have to call him out on that. Because that's by Nathaniel Hawthorne.
It is indeed by Nathaniel Hawthorne. That's quite unfortunate, James.
You're thinking of a study in Scarlet.
He is thinking of A Study in Scarlet, which is the first Sherlock Holmes novel, so that one took a lot less time than the previous ones. Now on to something that might take a bit longer. Capital cities of the Americas.
Oh, there's not many of them.
So, you need to give a capital city of the country that's in North, South, Central America, and that is including the Caribbean.
Okay,
Okay, as James gave the most recent answer, Luke goes first.
I will start off with Washington, D.C.
I'll go to Mexico City.
Ottawa.
Luke?
Brasilia.
Havana.
Port-au-Prince.
Bogota.
Santiago.
Buenos Aires.
Racing through this one.
Montevideo.
Lima.
Really going
Caracas.
Clapper's pace.
Asuncion, Paraguay.
You don't need to give the countries, but you can if you want to show off, I suppose.
Georgetown.
Paramaribo.
James? Do you think that's right? Do you think it's wrong? Or are you going to keep going?
Panama City.
Quito.
La Paz.
San Salvador.
Interesting.
San Juan.
Cayenne.
Bridgetown.
Tegucigalpa.
Santo Domingo.
Belmopan.
Can you think of one? Or maybe Luke's just been making them up.
Maybe I've been making them up.
Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Who knows? That's the point of the game. We won't find out until someone calls someone out. So, how are you feeling?
Nassau.
Kingston.
James? Seeing just through a perfect screen. Well, my head is in the way because I've got the window reflection, but. Ooh. Or is he just playing is he playing for time, or is he trying to trick Luke? Who knows?
Freetown.
Marley.
I'm going to call you out on that. I don't think that's capital.
Okay, so can you just repeat that one again?
Marley is he is right, it's the capital of the Maldives, which is not in.
Yes, it is indeed the capital of the Maldives. James is correct. And so he gets the 5 points. But,
I've run out of islands.
James, I want to congratulate you. You snuck 2 past Luke there.
Did I?
Yes, San Juan is not the capital city of any country. And Freetown is the capital of Sierra Leone, if I recall correctly.
Liberia, one of the two.
I think it's...
Close to Puerto Rico, San Juan, not.
Yeah.
It's not actually a
Puerto
country.
Rico, not a country, it's a US territory. Just going down the list to see, Sierra Leone. Freetown is the capital of Sierra Leone, which, as far as I'm aware, is very much in Africa. So, we have made it 2. So you've both lost 1 life. So we go to the final category. James has gained 12 points from this round so far. Luke has gained 10, which, because Luke has gained...
Past me.
James has gained 13 points because he's got 2 past that round, which actually ties the scores overall on 14 points apiece so far. Let's go into the final round of plausible. Remember, because we've gone to the wire, the winner of this round gets 10 points, 5 points for winning the category, and 5 points for winning the overall round. Do you like reality TV, gentlemen?
No.
Then you're going to love category 5, Strictly Come Dancing contestants.
Oh, that's not as bad.
So you want any celebrity who has appeared as a contestant on a main series of Strictly Come Dancing. So that's excluding the specials.
So any series at all, not just like last year's.
Yeah, any series. So any of the 18 series of Strictly Come Dancing that have aired so far. Name a celebrity that has been a contestant. So, James, Luke gave the most recent answer. You can go first. Remember, doesn't have to be right, just has to be plausible.
Michelle Visage.
Bill Bailey.
Joe Sugg.
Jamie Lang.
Do we have hit an impasse already, or
Carol
is he just
Vorderman.
playing for time?
No, Carol Vorderman can't have been.
Okay, so he is saying Luke is calling him out on
Rachel
Carol
Riley was. She was
Vorderman.
famously terrible.
Yeah.
But
I thought she won. Rachel Riley won.
no, Rachel Riley was terrible.
Oh, she won.
Uh,
And I'll tell you what else was terrible. That call out. Carol Vorderman was a contestant on Series
Wow.
2. She came second on Series 2 of Strictly Come Dancing. So, Luke
Very lucky,
wins.
James.
Wins that.
incredibly lucky. That's
Very
And
lucky.
he wins the 5 points to overall, which gives him, as we go into our second break, a lead of 24 points to 14. So, very nice. So, and we have song. Yeah, hold on. Sorry. No, we're having some problems with the technology, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't believe you got Carol
And
Vorderman.
song. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that most recent song. And as we mentioned before going to break, we have Luke, the president of Quizzical, is on 14 points. And James, our social secretary, is on 24 points going to round 3. And Luke, I forgot to mention beforehand, but if you lose, you are now no longer president of Quizzical.
Of course.
Yeah, you got that to play for. So, Luke, as you're in second place, you get to pick first what set of questions you want to go for in round 3, connections. I have 2 sets of 10 questions here. One of your fates each set. You get 3 points for each answer that you have correct. And each answer, all the answers have a connection running through them. If you get the connection, you get 5 bonus points. So,
Okay.
Luke, do you want set 1 or set 2?
I'll take set 2, please.
Okay, he's taking set 2. So let me just scroll down in the Google Doc. Question 1 in set 2. What is the first film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which was released in 2008?
That'd be Iron Man.
That would indeed be Iron Man. Question 2. Which scientist published a paper in 1905 about Brownian motion, as well as 3 others on more famous topics?
That was Einstein's first paper.
It was indeed Albert Einstein. Going nicely so far, 2 for 2. Question 3. What is the name of the exam lawyers must take in order to practice in court?
The bar.
It is indeed the bar exam. Again, 3 more points. Question 4. Which country, in addition to its mainland, controls territory in mainland South America, the Caribbean, the Indian Ocean, and Polynesia?
Oh, they're the French overseas department, so it'd be like Réunion and French Guiana, so it's France.
4 for 4. Very, very nicely done. Question 5. Speaking of France, what is the old Roman name for France and its people? The most famous of which is probably Vercingetorix or Asterix.
There'd be Gaul, then.
That would indeed be Gaul. You're 5 for 5. You are doing very well. Representing the society quite nicely. Now, question 6. What is the American name for the first book in Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials?
Well, I don't even know the British name for it, so I've never read this series. I've heard of it, but so we're gonna go with the Sorcerer's Stone.
No, this is the Golden Compass.
Oh,
Did you know that, James? No, he's shaking his head, so fair enough. Apparently, we do not know our Philip Pullman and Quizzical. Question 7. Which planet has a 97.77 degree axial tilt, which means it rotates perpendicular to its orbit, unlike all the other planets?
Oh, the unique one, that is Uranus.
That is indeed the one that kids love to say, Uranus. Doing very nicely so far. You picked up 18 points so far. Question 8. Which famous actor and director, known for, amongst others, his Shakespearean roles in film and on stage, founded the National Theatre in 1963?
Oh. He is famous, and I can see his face, but I unfortunately do not know. It's obviously wrong, but I'll go with Sir Patrick Stewart.
It is obviously wrong. It's Laurence Olivier.
That's not good.
That is indeed not good. Question 9. In Greek mythology, which man was condemned to eternal hunger and thirst after serving his son to the gods?
You see, you asked me about theatre and I don't know, but if you ask me about Greek mythology, I've got more of a chance. I think that's Tantalus.
That is indeed Tantalus. And finally, your 10th question. Which Katy Perry single was released in 2010 and features Snoop Dogg in both the song and the music video?
This is perhaps more embarrassing, I think, to know, but I think it's California Girls.
It is indeed. I should deduct 2 points for knowing that. And so, connections. So far you've got 8 out of 10. That's 24 points. You can get an extra 5 for working out the connection between the answers. The answers being Iron Man, Einstein, bar exam, France, Gaul, the Golden Compass, Uranus, Laurence Olivier, Tantalus, and California Girls. What's the connection?
I can't pin them all to it. But iron puts me immediately on chemical elements. So we've got iron, einsteinium, barium for bar, I think. I think that works for all of them. You get tantalum, gold, obviously, for golden compass. Gallium, is that named after Gaul? Maybe. Go with chemical elements.
For 5 points, very nicely reasoned. Yes, it is indeed. Chemical elements. Iron, einsteinium, barium, francium, gallium, gold, uranium, lawrencium, tantalum, and californium. So that's 29 points you picked up there. So that should serve you in a very good stead in the final round. Now, James.
Hello.
You get set 1. Which American novelist only ever published 2 books? One in 1960, the other in 2015.
Well... I don't know. The only one I'm thinking of is a Canadian author, so I'll just have to pass.
That was Harper Lee. The first book is To Kill a Mockingbird, the second is Go Set a Watchman. Question 2. Which tennis player famously beat Bobby Riggs in the Battle of the Sexes?
More sport for you.
Yeah, I do not know any sport. And you haven't even given me a year to put this in context with. So I just embarrassed myself by giving an answer.
You gotta just grab a surname, I suppose.
Smith.
Yeah, plausible, but no, this was Billie Jean King.
If in doubt, go Smith.
Yeah, he famously said that something like he could beat any women's. He's a retired male tennis. He said he could beat any women tennis player. She challenged him. He lost. Question 3. Which fast food mascot inhabited an eponymous land with characters such as the Hamburglar and Birdie the Early Bird?
Well, there's 2 answers it could be. And so let's go for Ronald McDonald.
And you're on the board in this round. That was indeed good old Ronald McDonald. Question 4. Which Naomi is a British supermodel who announced the birth of her daughter in May?
This Naomi Campbell?
That is indeed Naomi Campbell. Yes. Do you have any inkling what the category might be yet, or are you completely in the dark?
No, I'm not too sure.
Well, yeah. Still, questions left. Who knows? Maybe when I read them all at the end, you'll cook to you. So, question 5: which American cartoonist created the comic strip Doonesbury?
So can I go for the question set 2, please? I need much more of those answers. Yeah,
That's the way it goes.
I don't know. The name Adam is in my head, but I don't know why. Adam.
No, that was a chap called Gary Trudeau. Question 6: what ecclesiastical title is given to the male head of a monastery?
Is that a bishop?
No, that's an abbot. An abbot is a monk who runs the workings of a monastery. So 3 for 6. But you did have a sizable lead going into the round, but yeah, still got much more opportunity to pick up points here. Question 7: which king of Hollywood won the Oscar for Best Actor for It Happened One Night, though he most famously starred in Gone with the Wind?
Oh, him.
Him indeed.
Oh, I should know his name. I really should know his name. No, I can't think of it, sorry.
Clark Gable.
That's it.
Yeah, and question 8: which English romantic painter is famous for his oil paintings, especially those of ships?
Turner.
Yep, J.M.W. Turner. That is correct. So that's 3 points. Question 9: what genus in the same family as weasels and ferrets are often prized for their fur? The most common species in the UK is the European pine blank. The blank being the genus in question.
I'm not sure of this, but the only animal I can think of which is used a lot for their fur are mink.
No, it's a marten.
Marten.
Pine marten, yeah.
Well, I think I think you made a very good choice here, Luke.
I think I did. I definitely picked the right set there.
Finally. Yeah, I think we're probably making a bit more equal in difficulty in further ones. But then finally, question 10. What British multinational publishing and education company owned Penguin Books from 1970 to 2013 and also owns EdXL, the exam board?
Well, publishing company. I thought Penguin was its own publishing company, not owned by something else. The BBC.
No, that was Pearson.
Yes.
Pearson. Oh,
Okay, and now, going to read you the answers again. What's the category? Harper Lee, Billie Jean King, Ronald McDonald, Campbell, Gary Trudeau, Abbott, Clark Gable, JMW Turner, Martin, and Pearson PLC. What's the connection?
are these Canadian prime ministers?
Is that based purely on Trudeau?
Well, I think
That's
Trudeau
Trudeau
is
and
kind of the
McDonald.
giveaway.
Yeah, they are
McDonald.
all Canadian Prime Ministers. They all share part of their name with a Prime Minister of Canada, specifically Stephen Harper, William Lyon Mackenzie King, John A. Macdonald, Kim Campbell, Pierre and Justin Trudeau, John Abbott, Joe Clark, John Turner, Paul Martin, and Lester B. Pearson. So as we prepare to go into the final round after this song break, it's neck and neck. Luke has 43 points, James has 44. And I'm going to give you this song, and we are here for the final round of Let's Get Quizzical right here on Raw, 12:15 a.m. We're probably going to go over a bit, but that's okay because we started late and it's just, our lovely bot Sue after us. So, this is how the final round is going to work. I'm going to ask a series of quick-fire questions of varying difficulty with a corresponding point value. 1 point for an easy question, 3 points for a medium question, 5 points for a hard question. One of the players will have control at any 1 point. The player with control will be told the point value and the category of the question. They can play or they can pass. If they play, they will hear the question. If they pass, the other player will hear the question. If someone answers the question correctly, the opposing player will lose that corresponding amount of points. If they answer the question incorrectly, they will lose the corresponding amount of points. The player who most recently has answered a correct question will have control to any 1 point. So, if you can build up a streak, well done, but there are some quite tricky questions in here.
Let's go.
As I mentioned before the break, Luke had a very good round 3, so he's able to come within touching distance of James' sublime round 2, I'll be frank. James has 44, Luke has 43. Luke, you get to go first. And the first question is medium difficulty, 3 points, and the category is pop music.
Oh, I'm going to play. Let's
He's
be
going to
bold.
play. Morten Harket is the lead singer of which Norwegian band?
Norwegian bands. The only one I know is Aha.
That is correct. Morten Harket is the lead singer of Aha. Question 2. Category, religion. Difficulty, 1. So it's an easy question.
I'll take it.
What is the second book of the Bible?
Exodus.
Correct. Luke is in the lead. Luke has 43, James has 40. Luke, current affairs for 5 points, so it's a hard question. Play or pass?
I'm going to pass.
James,
Okay.
here is you have a chance to take control here. Pedro Castillo and Keiko Fujimori were the 2 candidates in which country's recent presidential election?
I should have played.
Same result if he gets it wrong, though, but
Yes.
will he know it?
Ah. I'm trying to keep up with local elections around the world as well. I just.
Pedro Castillo and Keiko Fujimori.
And those names sound really familiar to me, like I should know what country they're
They
from.
have been in the news lately, but what country?
Pick one.
Oh, no, I can't.
So I
Sorry.
think a country has
Pass.
been a recent election. Okay, B is pass.
Peruvian, aren't they?
Yeah, they're Peruvian. Yeah, they're candidates in Peru. Thing I've got from Fujimori, because her dad was president of Peru in the 90s. Very controversial in that role.
Am I still in control then?
Yes, you still have control. James,
Right.
give me the right answer. Sport 3.
Pass.
Why do I even ask? In which sport do athletes such as Shauna Coxey and Adam Ondra have their sights set high for the Tokyo Olympics, which will be the first time it is included as an event?
New events at the Tokyo Olympics.
Come on.
I am very unsure. Pass.
It's passed again. The clue is sight set high. Climbing.
Climbing.
Luke,
Very glad I passed that.
Luke, you still have control. James has 32 points. You have 43. Phil, 1.
I'll play it.
Name anyone who has portrayed Superman in a live-action theatrical film.
Cavill.
Henry Cavill, most recent one to do so. That is correct. Pop culture, 3.
I'll be bold and play it.
Okay. What word links a mobile game by Supercell, a 1981 film based on Greek myth and remade in 2010, and the song London Calling?
Clash.
Correct. Clash of Clans, Clash of the Titans, and The Clash. Very nicely done. You're on 43, James is on 28. History, 5, so it's a hard question.
I'll pass.
Pass kid James.
Okay.
Yeah, want to try and get this right so you can take
Yes, I
control.
do.
On this day in 1692, Bridget Bishop was hanged at Gallows Hill as part of what case of mass hysteria, which caused the death of at least 25 people?
So do you want the day or do you want the event?
I want the event.
The Salem witch trials.
The Salem Witch Trials is the correct answer.
Oh.
Very nicely done. James, you have control. And the next question, it's an easy question, it's with 1 point, and the category is literature.
I'll take it.
Yeah, well, it's an easy question, might as well take it. New Moon and Eclipse are entries in what fantasy romance series of novels by Stephanie Meyer?
Do I have to answer? It's Twilight.
Yeah. Literature was in quotation marks on the document, in case you were wondering.
Uh-huh.
Current affairs, 3.
I'll play.
What is the name of the TV news channel fronted by Andrew Neil that is scheduled to launch this Sunday?
Ooh,
Oh, that's hard.
that is hard.
Maybe it should have been a 5-pointer then, but I thought it was easy enough. It's been in the news a lot lately, because, your news channel hasn't
Yeah,
had
you
new ones since.
gotta watch the news though.
Yeah, I mean, I know Fox News was thinking of opening up in the UK, so let's go Fox News UK.
No, this is GB News.
GB
News. So, you lose the points, and Luke regains control.
Right.
Pop music, 1.
I'll take 1.
What song begins with the line, "Coming out of my cage, and I've been doing just fine"?
The Mr. Brightside.
Yes, it is. You have 24 points. Sorry, James has 24 points. You have 37. Geography, 3.
I'll take it.
Give 2 of the 3 English names of the city that can be found on the Bosphorus, the most populous city in Europe.
So that's Istanbul. So if you want more names, I'm assuming Constantinople as well?
Correct. Istanbul, Constantinople. The third name was Byzantium.
Of course, Byzantium.
So, I've got quite a big lead here. You're on 37, James is on 21. The game ends when someone reaches 0. Science, 1.
I'll take a 1.
Which scientist famously came into conflict with Edison in the War of the Currents?
I'm assuming that's Tesla.
That is indeed Nikola Tesla. Classical music, 3.
Play.
Okay, that's expected. Twilight of the Gods is the English translation of the title of an opera by which composer?
Gods. Wagner?
Götterdämmerung in the original German is the 4th part of Wagner's Ring Cycle. Very, very nicely done. You have 37. James has 70. Food and drink, 5.
Pass.
Okay, chance to get back.
Yeah, you kind of need to get back into this here. What variety of white wine grape originated in Burgundy but can now be found across the world? It is one of the main ingredients in champagne.
Is that Chardonnay?
It is indeed Chardonnay. Very nicely done. You are back into the game.
Oh,
And your next question. Video games for one. Do I even need
I'll
to
take it.
ask? Yes. Which series has games such as Sunshine, Galaxy, Maker, and Odyssey?
Super Mario.
It is indeed Super Mario. Television, 3.
Well, that really would depend on what kind of television it is. I'll take it, just in case.
Which TV game show presenter wrote the best-selling 2020 book, The Thursday Murder Club?
Richard Osmond.
Indeed, Richard Osmond. It's a very good book. I do recommend it. Next question. Mythology, 1.
I'll take it.
The Greek goddess Selene and her Roman counterpart Lumina are goddesses of which astronomical body?
The moon.
That is indeed the moon. Catching up. You're still on 17, but Luke is now on 27. History, 5.
I'll play. I know
Always
history.
play. During World War II, Operation Fork was the code name for the bloodless British invasion of what country, in which the British consul asked local police, would you mind getting the crowd to stand back a bit so the soldiers can get off the destroyer? And got the reply, certainly.
This is Iceland.
Very, very nicely done. It was indeed Iceland. You're now only 5 points
Should
behind.
never have passed.
And you maintain control. Yeah,
I knew
that's the way the game
Chardonnay. I should never have passed.
is. You see, you don't know the question, you just know the category. And it's food and drink again, funnily enough. And it's a 3-pointer this time.
I mean, I've got to take every chance I've got. I'll play.
What confection is used in German Stollen, Swedish princess cake, and English Battenberg cake?
Oh, marzipan.
It is indeed marzipan. History, 1. Name any of the 3 regnal names of which England has had 3 in a row.
Well, yes, I'll play it, and...
Sorry, I forgot that. It is 1 I assumed you've played.
I'll say George.
Yeah, sorry, my bad, but...
It's fine.
Henry and
Yeah.
Edward.
Yeah, the other 2, but
Yeah.
it was history, it was 1 you'd have played anyway.
Yes.
Okay, now this is interesting. You have 17, Luke has 18. It's coming down to the wire here. Next question. It's a 5-pointer. The category is US politics.
I am going to play.
Ooh. Master of the Senate is the Pulitzer Prize-winning 3rd volume of Robert Caro's biography of which 20th century US president?
Oh, US president. So we need to think about presidents who had long careers in the Senate.
Don't have to.
I would go with Lyndon B. Johnson.
Very, very nicely done. The book is The Years of Lyndon Johnson, and you have now taken the lead. Literature, 1.
If it's 1 point, I'll take it.
In which work of fiction would you find the men Aragorn and Boromir?
The Lord of the Rings.
Which is indeed The Lord of the Rings for J.R.R. Tolkien. You have 17, Luke has 12. Pop music, 3.
I'll play.
Which Scottish rock band got inspiration for their name from a racehorse before looking into its World War I connection?
I know this. Because,
You know this.
yeah, I
So it
do.
wouldn't have mattered if I passed because I am unsure. So you might get the steal here. Racehorse.
Pick something.
The Spitfires.
No, that's
Franz Ferdinand.
the World War I connection.
Oh, World War One. Sorry.
Yeah, fancy that. So, now it's interesting. Luke, you now have control. You have 12 points. James has 14. Film, 1.
I'll take it.
Which actor has starred in 4 Weddings and a Funeral, Bridget Jones's Diary, and Paddington 2?
Hugh Grant.
This is indeed Hugh Grant. Video games, 5.
I'll take it.
Which series lets you play as a member of the titular profession, fighting monsters with 2 swords, and signs such as Igni and Ard?
The Witcher.
Correct. James is on 8, you're on 12. US politics, 3.
I'll take it.
Name either of the Republican presidential nominees who lost to Barack Obama.
Romney.
Okay, Mitt Romney and John McCain. Ho, ho, ho. You have a decision to make here. James has 5 points. This is a 5-pointer.
I'll play it.
No, I haven't.
I don't care, I'll play it.
Television. The category
play
is
it.
television. You're playing. Get it correctly, you win. Get it incorrectly, James gains control, and you'd only have 7 points. Name anyone who has starred as a detective inspector on Death in Paradise.
I might mispronounce the name, but Ardal O'Hanlon? Something along those lines?
The original DI was Ben Miller. He was replaced by Chris Marshall. The current actor is Ralph Little, who replaced Ardal O'Hanlon.
Well done.
Very nicely done. And you win 12 points to nothing.
Oh,
Thank God, I've watched every episode of Death in Paradise.
Death in Paradise is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful show.
Fortunately,
Yeah.
I do not know Scottish rock bands.
Yeah, so that is the end of the first episode of Let's Get Quizzical. Hope you've enjoyed it. I know we certainly have.
Very much so.
Apologies for technical difficulties, but we've only gone over by 10 minutes. And yeah, so this has been Thomas Hart, joined by
Luke Beresford.
And James Newton.
we'll be back here next week with some more quizzing goodness, but only on Raw 12:15 a.m. Also, join Quizzical. We need the money. So, see you next week. Bye-bye.